All right. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. It's our Monday night call, and I am so lucky to have the Dr. Mel on the call tonight. How you doing, Melissa?
I'm doing great. And so happy to be here.
Yeah, that's good. And so I really appreciate you being on. So, you have been new to Convene, but you're such an amazing new part of Convene, making such a difference to, a lot of people and everybody. So first, just introduce yourself, talk about who you are, where are you from?
So I'm Dr. Mel. I'm Melissa. I'm a licensed physical therapist, holistic health coach. So I got my doctorate of physical therapy back in 2014 from New York Medical College. I practiced my undergrad at Manhattan College. I played softball for Manhattan over there, and I graduated with an exercise science degree. But my physical therapy started back when I was really, really young, actually. Both my sisters were really fit and athletic. They shared the same clothes. They were tiny, petite, and I was always a little bigger as a young girl. I was bigger boned, had wider hips, couldn't share the same clothes they did, and I did struggle with my weight a lot as a young girl. So that was always tough for me, watching them share clothes and always being on the outskirts. So that was always very difficult. So I feel like God gave me those struggles so I could learn and dive deep into the health and wellness space. My mom probably can remember driving me to every juice shop and every nutrition book, reading every organic way of eating. I was always drawn to more of a holistic approach, just believing that God grew everything, and everything should be natural and not processed. So I began really diving deep into the health and wellness, eating clean. And then I struggled with pain and weakness in my hips playing sports. When I was playing soccer, I would constantly struggle with iliotibial tendonitis, and I was in and out of athletic training rooms. I also was blessed with an amazing soccer coach. His name is Lenny Framson. Dennis brought him up earlier. He actually worked with Olympic soccer teams. He was unbelievable. And I was like, this man is brilliant. How does he know so much about the human body? And that really intrigued me into entering the physical therapy space. Yeah. And then the stars just began to align from there.
Well, you know that you and I have had some talks about this. I have, two young girls, and I'm a counselor. We've talked a little bit about that, but I think that, a lot of young ladies go through what you've been through, to include, my daughters and other people. And there's just such pressure on them nowadays. And so, when you're going through that, it's not easy, right? You struggle with it. You think about it all the time. So talk a little bit about that, because we've had those talks.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much it impacted me. And I can't imagine, I was able to get out of it pretty quickly. I really dove into it deep, and I was only struggling with it for so long, but it is something that always kind of creeps into your head, even after you lose the weight. It's like you're still that fat girl, even if you don't look fat. Like that day you showed me that picture of your daughter and how skinny and great she looked, but just because she was a little wider hips than her sister, she felt fat next to her sister. And that's how I've always felt. Even at my skinniest, just because I'm wider frame than my sisters, I always felt like the fat one, so.
Yeah. It's just a tough situation. And, with all the social media and everything that's going on, all these young ladies have to go through, it just really plays a huge part in who they are and their confidence of who they are. And so it's not an easy thing.
Right. And even after losing the weight and still feeling comfortable in your skin, I would realize I'm still not completely mentally over it. So that's what made me dive more deep. Why I'm at a normal weight. I look great, but why do I still feel emotionally unfit? So that's what made me dive more into meditation, Reiki, sound healing. I got certified in all three. And it wasn't until then where I started really growing into myself, really gaining that self-confidence.
Yeah. Yeah, your story is such an amazing story to me because I think it's so relatable, and I think you're such a role model for young women. I really, really do, and
Thank you.
for my daughters and for just other women out there. I think what you've done and how you've transformed in your thought process and taken your story and made it into something special is amazing to me.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah. So, but your story's a little bit deeper, right? Because you became and you went to get your doctorate in physical therapy, and let's talk a little bit about, how you transformed into from somebody who thought they were just going to go like most physical therapists. I think most physical therapists, when they go into
Yes.
school, they really think, okay, especially I played baseball, you played softball,
Yeah.
you're an athlete, so you're going to go work with professional athletes, or you're going to go work with a college sports team or even a high
Yes.
school sports team. So talk a little bit about what led you to do what you do.
Yeah, that was like a dramatic change in my perspective. Like I always thought, oh, okay, I'm going to enter my physical therapy program. I'm going to graduate and then I'm going to go help athletes get stronger or help women lose weight or something around that realm, because that was my story, right? But when I was in my doctorate program, my grandma actually passed away. And my grandma was just like she was the most spiritual person in my family, and she was the one who made me more connected to God. Prayer every night when I was at her house, praying on the rosary, taking me to church. So when I lost her, it was like I lost a piece of myself. It was the toughest loss I've ever been through. So I realized that then, like just after, that was just in like my second or third year of my doctorate program, I switched my whole perspective of who I wanted to serve. I ended up really feeling this nurturing, this pulling need towards the elderly and preventing them from falling, balance, things like that. And I felt like athletes are already, they're doing everything they need to do, right? They're just trying to perform more. What about the people that can't do anything? They can't get to the kitchen for a glass of water. They can't get out to the grocery store. So I started working in the home care agency, going to house, because this is like this gray area. When somebody gets out of a hospital, they have nowhere to go. They can't make it to an outpatient clinic. They need somebody to come to them. So that's what I've been doing for the past 10 years, is really going house to house, treating patients that are in that stuck zone where they can't get to a clinic, or they're no longer able to stay in the hospital. So they have nowhere else to be or go. They need somebody to come to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And so okay, I'm 50 years old, and my parents are in their upper 70s. So, and I would say there's a lot of people on this call that are just in the same area that I am, right? So my parents are in the age group that, where, my mother has fallen a few times in the last year. My father is going through some stuff now. And so to me, when you told me about what you do, it like hit me right here in the heart, because this is something that is so important to me. My parents are everything to me. And so you're right there. And I think the majority of us, well, one, we're having an aging population, which is part of life, right? And so you're serving a need that is out there. So I'm very impressed. So talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so my main goal is to design a fall prevention program, which I've already done. I've designed a course to help prevent falls. The problem is people do not realize how important it is for the prevention program side. People usually don't come to me until they're already had a fall or had an injury. If we can get to these people before it happens and get them on a balance program, building their proprioception, learning safety around the home, how to get up and down the stairs properly, up and down from a chair, in and out of the bed, how to design their home, declutter their home. I can't tell you how many times I walk into a house and there's trip hazards everywhere. So I've designed a program where I And it's great because it's online. It's literally in your house. I have tools literally lay out what you can do. You print them out and you go through your house and you can declutter your house. You can put things where they're supposed to be. I also go through all different assistive devices that you're supposed to use it, and balance testing that you can perform. And if you don't pass those balance tests, it tells you which assistive device you should be using. I really break it down, and I've broken it down into 5 separate modules, as well as provided a step-by-step guide, a booklet where you can just print out and refer back to every day. And it's less than an outpatient copay. You can literally pay a one-time fee and you have access to all the tools for the rest of your life. And you just keep coming back to the videos and continuing your exercise program every day.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you, like with my parents and all that, they're willing to put the work in. They just don't know what to do, right? So they need
Exactly.
that guidance. And I think, that's what you see in a lot of cases. And you said it right. I think the key thing is to catch it before it gets too far away. I have a good friend of mine that I work with, and her mother-in-law has, been through a surgery, and it's almost gotten away from her. So then it becomes just a little bit too hard for her to get started, or she feels like, her mother-in-law feels like it's overwhelming to catch up.
Yes, that's what happens. They get to me and they're already at the point where it's difficult. But at that point, I can help them. But you can help these people so much sooner, and it cannot happen to them. 36 million people fall a year. And amongst those falls, there's like 32,000 deaths.
Oh my
So
God.
if we can put a little mask in this, it would make such a big difference.
So, and I know it might vary a good little bit, because obviously people have different things that go on and different health issues, but when should people start thinking about this? What age? Or is
Now, like people like me, we should be exercising and working on their balance every day. But as you get older, it only gets worse.
Yeah.
It only gets worse. And think about it so your vestibular system is 3 components. It's your eyes, your ears, and the proprioception on the bottom of your feet. What happens as people age? Their ears, they lose their hearing, right? Your vision starts to go. So if we can build the strength and the proprioception in the bottom of our feet, then we can help outweigh the loss.
Mhm.
So exercise is key.
Yeah.
Balance exercise.
Yeah, my mom so what ended up happening with my mom is that she had something going, a brain virus is what happened. And so believe it or not, what ended up happening to her, she lost sight in one of her eyes.
Mhm.
And when she lost sight in one of her eyes, it makes it a lot tougher to her. And that's why she's has some falling issues, because her depth perception is still kind of off.
Yes.
And so that's been one of the issues that we've been going through with her.
Yeah, so that's very, very common as people age, their vision issues or hearing loss, things like that. But the one thing you can always improve is your balance and your strength and your lower extremities. That's why physical therapy is so important. That's why it's so widespread. But the problem is insurance does not provide prevention care.
Yeah.
So that's why it's such a need for us to get online and reach out and give people resources now, because they only cover people who are injured.
Yeah.
And it's a shame.
Yeah, that is a shame. You're right, because it's not preventative. It's reactive. It's not
Exactly.
proactive. It's very reactive, and that's not what we want. So before we go and share your course and share what you're doing in Convene, you do some other stuff too as well, not
Mhm.
just for the elderly. Talk a little bit about the other stuff that you do also.
Yeah, so Jody's actually helping me also do just a general subscription group. So I do treat all variety of all ages. I have experience obviously at the collegiate level. So athletes I can work with as well. It's not like I don't like athletes. I love working with athletes. I love working with people of all ages. So anytime, any questions, you guys can always reach out to me. I'm always happy to help.
Yeah. Well, the video you put in the other day, where you're talking about meditation and daily affirmations and all that. I think that that's great, and I sent it over to my daughters, both of them, who are young ladies, 23 and 19, to go look at, because I just think it's important to go, think through that.
Yeah. So a daily meditation practice, something that's going to empower you daily is so important, because it is hard to stay motivated. Life is difficult. It is really difficult. And getting into a natural process of talking positive to yourself every morning, meditating every morning, prayer, it all helps us try to enlighten us before we start our day. Because once we start our day, the urgencies come in, the stressors come in. And if we can learn how to manage those stressors, and using meditation, exercise is your grounding. It's what keeps us connected and keeps us from spiraling.
Yeah, I love what you're doing. I honestly do. I just think it's great. Again, I think you're such an amazing role model for young ladies, as well as men and all that. But really, I'm just excited, that you're here. It was like when you showed up at the Convene 23 and you went through everything that you went through, and you persevered and got there. It's like a rock star walked in, when you walked in at lunchtime. So that was awesome.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So if people don't know the story,
Tell it real quick.
They had a big event at Convene in North Carolina, and my flight actually got canceled. And then I drove 3 hours to Philly to catch a flight. So I missed some of the event, but I captured a lot of it. And I got to meet all these wonderful people that are doing great things. It's not just me who's doing things on Convene. I've met so many people serving their community in their way. We all have a way to serve. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional, because it's so nice to have a platform to share and serve on. And Matt really has developed a platform with a purpose.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, and you got a video done. While you were there, I can't wait for that to come out. So everybody's going to see just the most amazing video. Ken has done some wonderful things.
Kent is amazing. Kent is amazing.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we had to work through it a little bit to get that video done, but we did well, and we got it done, and he'll have that out, hopefully here in just a couple of weeks. And that's one of the wonderful things about Convene is there's, like you said, there's so many people doing amazing things. And we call ourselves Convene Communities, a platform with a purpose. And it's because people take their story, and that's what you've done, Melissa. You've taken your story and things that you've gone through, and you're turning that into a purpose to help others. And that's really what we're here to do. We're here to lift people up, and we're here to do it in community. That's really what we want to do. With Convene, it's just the word convene. We want to bring people together. Everybody see the little logo here, and it's greater than, less than. Can we bring people together, from all walks of life, and do amazing things. So I applaud you. Now, let's talk a little bit about your community. And Jody, that you can come on, if you don't mind, and talk a little bit about what you two have done together in the last couple of weeks. And then Jody, I don't know if you want to share it or I can share it, but let's show it a little bit. Or Melissa, you can share it. Anybody?
Feel free. Jody has literally helped me put my vision to life. I had the videos, I had the layout, but she is the Convene expert. And she's also a beautiful content creator. She made all these beautiful banners for me. She helped revamp my logo. She did thumbnails for me, and put everything into the site for me.
Yep. So talk about it, Jody, because are building it, and everybody can see. I'll just kind of scroll around.
So basically where you're in right now is her public group. So that's where people can come in and see, the stuff that she has public. And she did all that. So what I did was I created 2 subgroups. So if we scroll back up to the subgroups.
I clicked on experiences.
Yes, all right. So so this is what I did. So the course is the fall prevention in older adults. Yep. And then I don't know, you can get, well, you have everything access. So yeah, so you can but as you see, and she was speaking on this, the price, because I asked her, I said, what do you want the price to be? and she wanted it to be affordable. And you know, like my mom passed away in 2009, and so, but she had multiple sclerosis, right? So, and then I have a godmother who's going through her stage of life. And then I actually texted my husband earlier and said, hey, your parents need to take this course, right? So it was near and dear to my heart when I was building it out.
Yeah.
So anyway, you know, we got on a call. She kind of gave me her vision. And I just kind of got to work, and, you know, she had the videos, she had to send me, we had a little bit of back and forth, which that's fine. That's normal. And, you know, she gave me what I needed as far as that was concerned. She gave me access to her YouTube channel, and so I was able to put the videos in the YouTube, and then basically, you know, put it all together. So if you want, I don't know if you want to,
Well, hold on real quick.
okay, if we show anything, or
Let Melissa, talk about it real quick. Just talk
yeah,
about
go ahead.
Yeah. So pretty much I first start on module 1. I talk about the mindset behind a fall, why falls occur, what older adults usually struggle with when it pertains to falls, the fear of falling and how to conquer those fears. And then it's not only behavioral or your own strength and balance issues, it's also your environment. So in module 2, I go over all the environmental changes you can make in order to prevent falls. And then I go down to the in and gritty, where I go through how to walk properly, how to get up and down from a chair properly, different assistive devices to use and how to use those properly, how to get up and down the stairs safely. And then I give a layout of home exercise program, a standing balance routine, a standing strengthening routine, and then also a chair exercise routine for those who aren't capable of standing. And then lastly, God forbid that somebody does have a fall, how to safely get somebody up and down from the floor safely.
Yeah. Can I tell you a story real quick? So,
Yeah.
my dad was outside doing yard work, and my mom went upstairs into the attic, and she tripped and she fell in the attic, right? Because it's like up above the garage. Well, here's the problem. She couldn't get up, and that because how she fell, and he was outside and it was hot. It was hot, so the thought process of that could have been a bad situation, and
Exactly.
so this is so important. And let me click into one just real quick, and we can show. So this is how it looks, module 3, and you can see there's now what Melissa has done is you can schedule a meeting if you need to, right there, calendar, a 30-minute call, which is great. And then here, these are experiences. So Melissa, talk about these just real quick.
Yeah, so then just like I said in that module, I go through how to use the 4-wheeled walker, how to use a straight point cane, how to get up and down from a chair, sofa, all of that in these 3 trainings here. So these are experiences where you actually watch a video of me going through it, and then you can ask questions about it. And then I also prompt you on some questions just to see how you retain the information. I also have a document, a workbook that goes alongside with this. So you can also print out the information. You don't always have to go back to the video.
Gotcha. So it's in one of these. That's perfect. And so here's the other thing that just to point out is then you can come in, if you really have a question, you can come into this one, hit this area, and you can ask a question in the discussion board.
And that gets shot right to my email, and then I can respond right back to them right away. And I also give that option of a coaching call where they can actually they can set up a 30-minute call with me. So they also have the ability to speak with me over the phone.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And so the process, Jody, was pretty simple working with Melissa because she had all her stuff and you just had to take it and put it in there for her.
I won't say it was completely simple.
No, we had a lot of back and forth because it was hard to
put into
yeah.
this, okay?
Yeah. No, Jody, it would have,
with,
it literally is something
yeah.
that would have taken me probably months to get it up on this platform. Jody literally made it happen in weeks, less than a week.
Yeah, it was a week. I
It was
think
a week.
it was about,
It
about a
was
week
like
and 3 days,
miraculous how
right?
quickly she got it done for me. It would have took me forever.
Yeah. So talk about this other group. What's this one going to be?
Yeah, so that's up and coming. We've started adding me and Jody, I shouldn't say just me. She started helping me adding some of my experiences, and I am writing a book on how to heal back pain to add in there. And then any new ebooks or any other new material that I add, I am going to continuously add to this group, because this group is going to be live access to me. So every 2 weeks, I'll do a live call. This is where I'm going to be like, you're going to have full access to me on this group.
Absolutely. So is there going to be a SI joint video?
Yeah, this definitely.
There's
So if
a
we're
bunch
talking
more.
about back pain, we're definitely talking about SI joint.
I told her, I said, we got 3 done. We got a whole bunch more, but this will be a work in progress.
But that's the way, so listen, if you're watching and you're thinking about groups, these groups are dynamic groups. I call them, you can have your single subscription where there's modules, somewhat like your first group, but then this one is a dynamic group. Your membership groups will never stop growing. That you'll continue to add that value, continue to add that content to it.
Yes.
I can come in here and ask you those questions. You will respond to me. And so that dynamic group is important, because that dynamic group is going to be what allows you to interact with. Listen, the reality of it is we want access to you. You're the doctor, you're the expert, right? And that's where the magic happens. It's not just going on to Instagram or going on to YouTube and watching your videos. Where the magic happens is when I can talk to you and I can ask you questions and all that.
Right, because the YouTube videos are only a general aspect that I can serve, like if I can really talk to the individual and see what's going on with them, then we can really make things happen for you.
Yeah.
And then I also have access to Lenny and other PTs. My sister-in-law is a PT as well. I'm hoping to get more people involved, because it helps. Like Dr. Mel is Dr. Mel, but if I have Dr. Nicole and Dr. Lenny involved as well, we can serve so many more people.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's really the key. The key is to bring other people on.
Yes.
Lenny is on here watching now, but to bring other people and interview them. And
exactly. I also have a friend who's an OT. That's why there's a lot of people on this call, because I wanted them to see what I'm starting to build, and I want them to be a part of it. Lisa's an OT who's a close friend of me in Connecticut as well. I'm trying to get her involved as well. So the more people who can start making courses and bringing them in, we can serve so many more people.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the key. The key is to, to bring more people in and to serve. And so let's talk about this real quick, because you and Jody, this is your party of, you are now also the co-leader, one of the co-leaders with Omar and Jody inside of the health and wellness community. So Jody, I'll let you talk about that, because you're led that, but then talk about how, the goal is to really, let's grow this resource. Let's grow this community. There's so many people who do so many different things in the health and wellness space. The goal of a community is to grow a resource. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, one of the things, and this is what I talk to the other coaches that I mentor a lot about, because when I started online coaching, it was because I was very overwhelmed. I was trying to meet people in person all the time. And if anybody is doing that, like this is a conversation Mel and I had, when you're doing that, you're trying to serve them, but at the same time, you can't even help yourself, right? So it becomes kind of your detriment at that point. And so the online space gives us the ability to serve the people who we desire to serve and not overwhelm ourselves or overwork ourselves, because if we don't have the energy for them, we're really not good for them, right? So anyway, the health and wellness community, that's what we're really kind of trying to show people is, hey, this isn't taking away from your practice, right? Like I'm still going to be a personal trainer. I'm still going to be a nutrition coach, whatever, right? You're still going to be a physical therapist, but this is a resource that you can actually now help thousands of people at the same time. And at the end of the day, like, I love to help people. Mel loves to help people. That's what we're here for, right? So it's great that we can build the business, but when we're actually doing what we really desire to do, which is help people, that makes it feel even better. And oh, by the way, we can now help hundreds and thousands of people in 1 hour instead of just one. And that's one of the things that I've really been trying to get people to understand. It's, you know, because a lot of people just aren't there yet, and that's okay. I wasn't either. Matt knows this. I know he talks about all the time.
Also, after you leave the patient,
Yes.
you want to leave them with resources. How many patients have reached out to me is like, what do I do? You know, like, it's not enough just at that moment. People are constantly growing, trying to expand and evolve, right?
Mhm.
And once you leave them that day, how do you stay in touch over time? How do you give them more
Exactly.
tools as they grow, learn, and change? And
Yeah.
this is by putting all your knowledge in a system like this. You have these tools that you can say, oh, here, yeah, do this
Right.
next. Oh, you mastered that? Check this one out.
Right. And before Convene, it was like everything was everywhere, right? Like, I had stuff all over the place. You have stuff, right? But it's
Yeah.
everywhere. Like, you're sending one person here for something. You're sending people YouTube videos, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and now
it
you can
keeps
just
it
be like,
organized.
hey, just come here,
Right.
right? And now, not only that, but you don't just have access to me or Mel. Now you have access to however many coaches desire to use this
Yeah.
platform. And, you know, because I don't have all the answers. I tell people all the time, I don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers, right? Like, there's gonna be something that's gonna hiccup on us, right? But if somebody uses the discussion board and they ask the question to the entire community, I guarantee you there's gonna be somebody in there that's gonna be able to answer that question. And they're also vetted, right? Like, I always say, I blame YouTube for bad form in the gym, right? Like, these people are vetted, so we know that they know what they're doing, instead of, you know, people just having to guess. Because when we guess, I mean, it's frustrating. It's overwhelming. It's frustrating. We don't know where to find the answer. And then what do? We give up. I mean, I've done that in business, right? So that's what we're trying to build here. You know, we're looking for anybody and everybody that has anything to offer in the health and wellness space. And wellness is everything, right? Mindset, mindfulness, like you were talking about earlier, the breathing techniques, yoga, all of those things are super important. Because yeah, you can go to the gym and work out, and you can even eat right, but if you aren't taking care of your mental health, right, there's still going to be some problems. So I love that we're incorporating all of that here. And yeah, we're just looking to build this out and grow it with genuine people who really want to help other people. And then of course, the people who want the knowledge can just come here in this one place and get that knowledge. So.
All right, Mel,
Also,
I'll let you close us out on this part so we can open it up for some questions. And
also for people who are just want to feel an urge to share what we've already developed, we do give referral percent. I think the course was at 30%. So if you get somebody to come and purchase my course, you get paid, and for not even having to put in the work like me and Jody did.
Well, and that's what
Just by
it's funny. I
sharing
went
it.
and briefed a class the other day, and I said, all I said was 2 words: passive income, and people's eyes perked up.
Yeah.
They're like, can we talk about this later? Yes, we can.
Absolutely. Well, it's word of mouth. You know, if you look at the people, Mel, right now there's 26 people on this call tonight. So the idea and the thought process is behind Convene is, can we grow this community? Can we grow this family? And like Jody said, you may not, again, I come in, I'm a counselor. I have a degree in counseling, right? And so I might come in and say, okay, mom and dad, you need to go take Dr. Mel's course, on fall prevention, right? I don't know anything about fall prevention. I know I got a bad SI joint. That's all I know, and, but, we can help each other out. We can refer each other. We can, there's different people coming to the platform with different expertise. And so you stay in your lane, do your expertise, and let's help each other grow. And that's where those referral fees come in huge.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I will say, Mel was pretty easy to work with as far as,
that's not what you said to me.
Really, but, huh?
That's not what you said to me.
No, whatever. Stop it. No, but we got on the call and she didn't really know what she desired at first. And I said, well, hey, this is what I'm doing. And so I just literally showed her like, hey, I have a course, I have a subscription group, right? And I explained to her about the subscription group, like I do the live calls and then I put those in experiences. And she was like, yeah. And so that part was really easy. So, when you have like coaches and people who are doing different things like that, I think just starting out with those two things. And of course, I didn't know that when I first started, but now that I know that, I'm like, hey, just start with those two things, because that's what people want. They want your knowledge. And then if they can get on a call with you every couple weeks, that's even better, because now you can show, 50 or 100 people that have those questions. You can show them all at the same time instead of having to do the onesie twosie thing.
Absolutely. They want access to you. That's what they say. People want to be seen, heard, and validated. So they want to know that the things that they're going through matters. They want to know, and don't want to just watch your video on fall prevention. They want to know that they matter, that you care. And that's one thing, Melissa, that I know that I can already tell just from your heart and soul, you're going to pour into your clients, to the people that you help. And because it's more than just, it's something that you're passionate about. So it's very,
and that was kind of the problem. I was spreading myself so thin, going patient to patient, because I care so much, and it wasn't serving. I was struggling because it was killing me not being able to serve higher. And it was the only option for me.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if you remember, Mel, I don't know if you were there when I was speaking, but Matt said Jody has the biggest heart. And I said, sometimes to my detriment. When you have a big heart, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I'm having to learn now too. So this is really going to be valuable. You're going to see that you're going to be able to serve your people a whole lot better. I've been able to do the same in different capacities. And so I know that you're going to be able to do that too.
Yeah. All right, Mel, last words.
I just couldn't have done it without all the support on Convene. Everybody has an expertise. Jody helped with the content. Matt helped pull the heartstrings and get me to kind of speak about all this stuff. It's not like me to be able to speak in front of 26 people. It's not in me. So I couldn't have done that without Matt, Kent shooting the videos, and just all the support from everybody else. I just want to thank you all so much.
Yeah, well, you're great. We're so glad you're here. And I want to tell you that your parents should be proud. You're doing amazing things. And I am so amazed with the support network you have had show up here to support you tonight. And that's
Thank you guys so much for coming.
That's an Italian family, I guess, which is wonderful. So I love it. So,
I should have been born Italian.
My mama is very, very proud.
Everybody can turn their camera on. You can unmute. If I did turn your camera off, please let me know and I'll turn it back on. Just put in the chat to turn it on, because I can't remember who all I turned off, but
Melissa's mom, I'm so very proud of her.
you should be so proud.
That was the best.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Awesome.
Well, you've raised a special daughter. I have 3 kids. I have a son, and Melissa got to meet them. My son and 2 daughters, and they were able to speak at the event when I had it, and it was special.
And she's my middle child, but they say they're special.
Well, my middle child is very special. I'll tell you, man, special. So, which is good.
My husband's a middle child. He's very special too.
So,
I'm so happy for what you guys do, and I'm very proud of all of you. That's amazing.
Well, it is amazing. We're doing something special. Everybody that comes on to Convene, they really have a heart to help. And that's just the facts. They've taken their story, they've taken the things they've gone through, and they're turning it into helping others. And that's really what this thing is all about, is to we call it Convene Community as a platform with a purpose, and everybody here truly has a purpose.
That's great. Okay. God bless you all.
Yeah. All right.
Before
Question.
you go, Mom, I wanted you to know that your daughter is amazing. I've been in physical therapy since 1993. I did 20 years in the Marine Corps. I live with chronic pain. And when I went to the Convene 23 conference, Dr. Mel told me something that literally changed my life and helped me start getting more sleep. I'm getting like 2 more extra hours of sleep because I started sleeping on my back. I was literally throwing up in my, excuse me guys, but Dr. Mel gave me something and that switched. The other thing happens, I booked a paid appointment and I thought she was just going to talk to me, but she did. But she didn't just do that. After that, I got a video of everything that she taught me, plus handouts with pictures and writing. And I've been doing the exercises and I can see the difference already. So for those of you that got some ailments, y'all better not sleep on this one. Book your appointments and let Dr. Mel take care of you. Because even I've been to my doctor since then, Dr. Mel, and they wanted to know what I have been doing. I said, well, for the past week, I've been doing something you didn't bother to tell me. And yeah, I did it like that. Just saying.
That's
So
great.
thank you.
That's awesome. All right, questions for Dr. Mel. Anybody got questions, comments? Nobody?
I'm just glad I was introduced to her.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Tom Dorney brought Melissa to the platform. So thank you so much for that, Tom. And that's how this works, right? Is you know, find people that are doing great things out there, bring them to the site. You know, we're here to help each other. That's really what this is all about. And so it's exciting, you know, just to see somebody come in and start to do great things, you know.
I got a question.
Yes.
It's Laurel. Hello.
Hey.
So, hey, Mel.
Hey.
Hey. So I have a question as I am a death doula. Hypothetical situation. I have a family not facing death imminently, but like I do work with some families when they're just looking at getting mom and dad into a better living situation. So this idea of, you know, being able to see if their environment is safe and what they can do about it, I'm sold. I mean, that is going to become a part of my program, referring people to you
100%.
for their clients, right? I'll use my clients, but to go a little further than that, what my question is like, if there's an elderly couple, maybe a husband and wife, both still alive, is like, if they were to, you know, take your course and see these exercises, like, do they need a doula to help them? Do they need an adult child to help them? My guess is that it's going to be better if there's some support.
Right, 100%. And I foresee that most of my clients are going to be like Matt, like taking my course for his parents. Because I don't see, because even I've tried to navigate these tools with my clientele. It can take me the whole session to get them on the platform and into my course. So I foresee more of the people like in their 40s to 60s being my main clientele, helping their older parents or grandparents, providing them these tools.
And considering it for themselves.
Yes. Yeah, they don't like, I know it's like, I really think that they should be doing them themselves, but a lot of times they don't want to take the course because it says older adults. And they're all like, oh, I'm not older. But the exercises, I'm telling you, I think Matt would have difficulty with.
What are you trying to say?
Well, I tell you, age is real. Age is real.
What are you trying to say? My age is real, Laurel?
No, that mine is too. I'm saying I'd probably have some difficulties. Well, okay, this is great. So I see a couple options here. Like one of my trained doulas, they want to help their families on this new level of helping them check safety in the home. You're a great resource.
Yeah.
Huge.
And I can see it being a big caregiver training for CNAs or
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely.
nursing homes,
We're
staffing.
gonna connect. We're gonna
Yeah.
connect because I could see us working something together where part of my program is they have to go take your thing. You're building it.
Yeah.
I don't have to build it.
Right, right.
Cool.
It could be part of their training to be a doula.
Yep. Yep.
That works.
Cool.
Real
We'll
quick,
figure that out.
let me answer Alexis's question here. She says, what's the difference between this and a Facebook group? How do you grow your business? I'm new and absolutely nothing about this. So what's different about Convene? There's a couple of things that it's different. It's very much a lot more organized than what Facebook is. Facebook groups, they can get disorganized. You have an algorithm. We have no algorithm. So when people join a group, like for example, I sent out the link to tonight's meeting inside of one of the groups that we have. Everybody gets that link, with that. So anytime you send an announcement out, 100% of the people get it. That's very important. It's more organized. So now, for example, Dr. Mel has courses, right? She has her courses. They're organized. She has modules. They're organized, and you have to flow through those. And you have document management, which is very important. Those documents are right there in the course, right there in the experience. So we have document management. We have a CRM built in. We have project management. Also, if it's something you desire, that's built in. You also have the ability to go in, work in through discussion boards. And so there's a couple of key things about these discussion boards. And number one being, not everybody likes to share their dirt, right? Well, if I go out and I post on Facebook or I post in a group, it's me, it's Matthew Curran posting in that particular setting. But let's just say, I don't want to let everybody know that I'm old and broken down and I have an SI joint problem. And I want to ask that question, which I did ask that of Melissa. Well, I can go in there and do that as myself, or I can go in there and do that anonymously. There's a lot of stuff that goes on inside of the platform anonymous, right? And so that's very key and very important to the platform because, for example, me, I am a mental health counselor. That's where my background is. Kate Gallahue, who's on here, runs a parenting community, a young adult teen community. Sometimes it makes people feel more comfortable as they can come out and they can talk anonymously. And then maybe people want to relate to that, but they can also relate anonymously. So those are some key factors that build into Convene that make it a little bit more personalized. Another thing is like when you're talking about Jody and you're talking about Melissa and you're talking about Omar, they are the health and wellness community. So that's the focus of that community. It's not like Facebook where there's you go in and people go where they want to go. If you're a parent, you go into the parenting community. Well, if you don't have kids, you're not going to go in the parenting community, so there's different things like that that are very important. So hopefully that answers your question, and be glad to talk to you more about that, Alexis. Would love to talk to you more about it and just show you more of what the site has to offer. All right, anything else?
I just wanted to say something. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I wanted to comment that I'm 77 years old, so I'm at the other end of the spectrum, and I played 2 hours of pickleball tonight with 30 and 40-year-olds,
and beat them.
And I kind of practice what I preach for years and years and years, and I want to comment that I don't know what, if we had a passion meter here, it would be like blowing up. There's so much passion in the room about a desire to help. And I just want to caution that there's going to be a lot of frustrating moments of you getting close to people. And I don't know how to express it perfectly, but I'm trained as a podiatrist, and now I'm a health coach in a fitness center. I moved from New York in the financial district, and now I'm in a fitness center in Tampa, Florida. And the point I'm making is that when I first started practicing, I would say to people, well, here's these 10 exercises and go home and try them. and they were totally comfortable coming back in 2 weeks and saying, I never did them. And at that point, I was like, where do you want me to send your chart? I was born and raised in Brooklyn, so I have an arrogant piece, but it's at that point, I'm never going to help this person, and I care much more. So I've learned over the years to give back what they're giving me. You know, if I give them 10 exercises and they want to do 3, then let's focus on these 3 and get the most out of them that we can. And I'm just using it as sort of metaphorically because otherwise you're going to get really, you'll make a Zoom and the person won't show up, and they'll, I had a runny nose, whatever their reason is, it's very important to them, but and you're not going to get the respect that you deserve, is the way I would put it. And I don't hear any discussions here about economics, which I guess maybe is just not part of the forum. So is this a philanthropic group that just works for nothing, or is there an economic piece to it?
No, there is an economic piece to it. And first and foremost, you are exactly right. You can only help those who want to be helped, and bring your passion to those who really want to be a part of your passion. I have to talk to many people about that. Jody Watkins, that used to get frustrated when somebody didn't receive, But yes, no, this is a monetary based platform. You can see that Dr. Melissa had, prices on her courses. So there's both. I want to say we do partner. We're a public benefit corporation. So we do partner with nonprofits and allow them to use the site for free. However, the majority of people that are on this platform or on this call right now that are part of Convene also have courses, paid courses. People pay them to have access to their content and be a part of and gain access to them, because they are the experts, if that makes sense. So yes, you are correct. There is a monetary piece to this for sure, but it's also, we do a lot with referral fees. So if you know somebody who wants to go and take Melissa's course, she's willing to give you a referral fee back just to help her grow that course. So that is all.
So to Melissa directly, there's certain pieces that are missing here holistically and integratively, which I would love to discuss with you, in a different setting. But you're not talking very much about brain health. And you're not talking very much, you mentioned the feet with proprioception, but again, I'm from Brooklyn, so I'm sarcastic as well. God didn't put our brains in our butts. They put them, they're put on the top of our heads, and we sacrifice our feet and our knees and our hips and our backs in order to make sure that the brain stays steady and thinking and capable of functioning. And 70% of us are born with collapsibility in our feet, that once you're living on an earth of gravity that's trying to suck you into the center and vaporize you, that is then shock absorbed by the hard ground 10,000 times a day or more, that collapse is number one surgery now is knee replacement, then hip replacement, then L4, L5 spinal fusion. And but then, because of the central nervous system, it goes right to the brain. So for instance, I would be saying to clients, twice a week, eat your meals with the opposite hand, and learn to wire your brain differently. Anyhow, I think I'm saying enough. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, I didn't go through all the courses, but in the first section of my module, I do go through the mindset and the mind-body connection.
Yeah, we should talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it at another time. Yeah, so.
But
don't forget, we have the
invitation.
the health and wellness calls. We're actually doing one this Saturday. So Mel, if you want to share that information with anybody that's there, anybody can come on the call and we can actually talk about all this stuff and see, maybe one person is better at creating one portion and then, but that's why we want to do this
Yeah,
together.
and this is what it's all about. Like,
Mhm.
if Dennis wanted to send me more of his information, I'm happy to add that to the course. I welcome this collaboration. That's why I love having great minds in one area. So I would love for him to hop on another call and give the feedback is the whole point, right?
Yeah,
And
that's the whole
that's
point.
why it's continuing to grow and add things. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I love it, Dennis. And yeah, I'd love to talk to you more about it as well. Love the insight. It's awesome. All right, who else?
I just wanted to say, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Mel, you did a great job. You really
thank
did.
you, Lisa.
To really like talk in front of everybody and share some of the things that you did. I think you did great from the heart. And I can say I've worked with Mel for, I don't know, a couple, 2-3 years now. We've shared patients together. I'm an occupational therapist.
Okay.
And I always like to say, who's your PT? Because, we're never with the patient at the same time. And whenever they, would say her, but you're lucky that you have her, she's a great physical therapist. And now I'm getting to know her more as a friend and in other, ventures. So thanks for inviting me.
Of course. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming, Lisa.
Keep
No
coming back.
problem.
Keep coming back. We need occupational therapists in here as well.
Yeah. And
That's why I try to get her to come.
I'm trying to get a nice grasp of what you guys do as well, because she explained it to me and I was like, huh? But this is really great. And I look forward to finding out more.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So I appreciate it. We're coming up on the hour and I wanted to highlight one more thing tonight before we jump off. And that is Andy Barker, Doc. So Doc is doing some amazing things. Everybody knows everybody that was at the Convene 23, all of our group, the main group, the Convene 23 group, is all the videos were done by Doc, which is really, really cool. And so everybody say thank you to Doc that was there and has a video done. But
Thanks,
the other
Doc.
thing that he's doing is
Thanks, Doc.
the other thing he's doing is he's offering video services. So I wanted to talk about that for a second. And hold on one second.
We gotta, yeah. What in the world is going on?
Yeah. So Doc, if you don't mind, hold on, I'm good.
On January 6th, 2 years ago,
I
thousands
think
of
Irene, is it Irene?
Okay,
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So Doc, if you don't mind talking about what you're doing in your group and the services that you're offering.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks. First of all, and it was a pleasure meeting everybody that weekend. It was a lot of fun. I was a little bit tired after all that, but it's what happens when you get old. Anyway, so what I'm offering is 3 basic packages. The first package is a basic editing, and that's where you would provide me with your footage, and I'd put it together for you. Put a front cap and an end cap on it, and go that route. Add some music, whatever the case may be. The second option is where what I'm going to offer is a little bit more, a little bit in depth as far as putting your footage together, adding other media aspects to it. Kind of like the some of the clips we saw that can't put in the videos for everybody. And then the third option will be where I'll do the whole production for you. So we'll film, whatever you want to film, your idea, we'll put that together. I'll do the editing and everything else, and we'll make that a complete package for you.
Yeah. It's awesome. Again, video is so important to Convene and what's going on inside of Convene. So, everybody just continue to look at what, what Doc is doing, what Ken has been able to do. But Doc brings a lot of the services to Convene. I know Mark Ullman is going to be linking up with Doc here coming in real soon to get a bunch of videos done for him. He's going to basically go link up and go to St. Louis to have his videos done and stuff like that. And Meredith, Mark's wife, is talking about doing the same thing. So it's a lot of good services that we're offering. I wanted to point out what he's doing. We'll have him back on and show his group and all that another night as well. but contact him if you need some video services. Well, I think one of the greatest things we can do is if you do the videos and you want front end, back end editing done, he should, because not everybody has that skill or the time, but he can do some front end, back end editing and stuff like that, as well as I hope to see in the long run, good quality commercials type videos for each community when you're welcoming people into your communities and stuff like that. That's another thing that I think he can actually do really well as well. Also, you can go check out his group. It's Mad Sis. It's in the Troubadour community as well. Okay, make sure you go join Dr. Mel. Go join the health and wellness community. If you're not a member of that, go join. You can put anybody and everybody can put a discussion board in the comments inside. Everybody. It's not just Jody or Omar or Melissa that can put a comment in a discussion board. Everybody can do it. You can do it as yourself, or you can do it also as anonymously. Go join their groups inside of there. Omar has one where he does band exercises and stuff like that. Jody does stuff inside of her own community and inside of the health and wellness community. And then Melissa has her group. Go join these groups, support them, put comments in, ask questions. I ask a question about, my SI joint issues, and lo and behold, I got a video back about what to do. So make sure that you pour into everybody.
And just real quick, Matt, if I can piggyback real quick, for the health and wellness community, for anybody who is interested in learning more, please join the content creator group that we have inside of the community and go into the announcements and you'll get the Zoom call information. We do have a call this Saturday. So if you're interested in learning more and learning how to, work with us and build out this community, please join the call. We're doing it every 2 weeks. So
yeah, that'll be good. And that's their community, right? Convene is, just in support of their community, the health and wellness community. So always looking for other coaches. All right. Anybody got any last questions? I know we're past 8 o'clock, and then I'll go push it over to Melissa to make her last comments. Anybody got any questions, comments? I think this was a great call. It was a really, really good call. Melissa, I'm so proud. I mean, to see, you and the support for you is really awesome from your friends, family. Lenny's on here. Lenny hadn't spoke, but you talked about Lenny and all that. So that's really amazing. Lenny, you missed it. I think you came on a little bit late, but she talked about how much of an impact you were in her life. Melissa, I'll let you close us out tonight.
I'm just overwhelmed with the gratitude of just all the support and how many people came on this call today. It really meant a lot to me. And I'm just so excited to see everybody grow, not just myself, but see each one of you grow and build, and to see Convene grow. And I'm just so happy to be a part of it. It just feels right. It really does.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording now.